Hi, welcome to today's live episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat. I'm Karen Scott Green.
And I'm Kat Hardrick.
And we are here today talking about municipal elections here in Georgia because it is election
It's
season.
election season. Everybody ready to vote. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. Let's get it out.
And we're going to have a few guests on tonight talking about their elections here in Gwinnett County. And the first person that we have on is Yumi Hampton. And Yumi is running for re-election in Lilburn, Georgia. Yumi, thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen.
Aww.
We appreciate you for joining us at such short notice. But, the municipal elections are so important because everyone is so focused on national elections, but it is really the municipal elections and county elections that have the most impact on everyone's day-to-day life. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about why you're running again for re-election and about Lilburn?
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. This is just an honor. My name is Yumi Hampton. It's like you and me, Hampton. And I was elected as a city councilwoman 2 years ago. And I am up for re-election, and I believe that I will make the best candidate as a Lilburn City Councilwoman. That I need to be re-elected because I believe in STP. I am the energizer that brings good things into the city. And so it's like safety, transparency, and progress. That is my, what do you call it? That is my goal. Yeah. Safety, transparency, and progress. STP. I'm the energizer. Everybody always just call me Energized Bunny. So I am excited about this race, and I pray that that I will be able to get elected because there's so much that needs to be done in our city, that we are progressing, we are moving diversity, we're embracing diverse, and also that we are doing a whole lot of growing here. So I've been here for 24 years. And now we are moving forward, and so we want to make sure that our businesses are doing good, that we are bringing more business into our city, as well as I have voted on one of the I call it workforce housing, because a lot of young people. I tell people that we all going to get old, and the city will die out if we don't bring our younger generation into our city. So we need to bring our younger generation into the city to revitalize our city. So we are moving forward for that. And I pray that everybody will get on board, get on the same bandwagon and go with me and elect me as your councilwoman, and let's move forward and let's grow together.
That's right. Yumi, you got to tell everybody how to get in contact with you. What's your website, and where do they need to go to cast a vote for you? Because when you vote for Yumi, what you doing, girl?
It says, vote for you and me is vote for you and me. Kat just loved that one. That's right. Vote for you and me. That's a Lilburn City Hall, with the library, this Lilburn City Hall. And the early voting started on 16th up until November the 3rd. There's Saturday voting on October the 21st and 28th. And then our general election was November 7th. So I pray that everyone will come out and vote because, like you say, Karen, our municipal election is very important. I told some of the people, I said, if the sewage line breaks, if the tree falls on the street, if there's a pothole, you're not going to call Washington, D.C. because they don't know you. But we do. We are here to make life easier for everyone in our community. And also that, collaboration with another cities like Snellville. We all are linked together. So when one city does good, we all will do well in Gwinnett County, especially. Diversity. Yes.
And Yumi, do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It is www.unmi. YONMIHAMPTON.com. So my whole name, YunmiHampton.com.
Good. All right. And listen, everybody, make sure y'all tell everyone, send your links out. join our live show so our citizens in all of our municipalities can chime in, ask questions while your candidate is online. They may be able to respond to you tonight so you can learn a little bit more about each candidate. This is why we're doing this. Karen and
That's
Kat,
right.
we all about the community, and we want to
That's
make
right.
sure everybody has access. And
That's
while
right.
we're bringing people in, please mute our phones. Mute your phone until it's your time to speak. Just go ahead and pop it on mute right fast. But
I'm so,
Yumi,
yeah,
can you, yeah, can
go
you
ahead.
tell the viewers just a little bit about your background so they'll know how genuine and authentic you really are? Because you're not doing this for show. You're doing this because you believe in it. So tell the community a little bit about your background so they'll know how authentic you are.
Right. Thank you for asking that question because I totally forgot. But yes, my name is Yunmi. It's originated from Korea. My mom is Korean and my father is African American. And but my mom raised me by herself and she passed away and I became an orphan in
Mm-hmm.
Korea. And then I got adopted and that's how I came to. So the God has been all my life. So I have, God has called me out of my job in 2000 to serve him, to be a servant. So I tell people I'm a free Uber and free Lyft driver because I take people to the doctor's appointments. If they have a problem with their immigration issues, I'll take them to the immigration offices, Social Security. And everybody asks me if I was a lawyer, and I says no. As I go and do it, I learn. And that's how I help the community and help people all over. So I'm a volunteer. I volunteer. I'm with the Living Women's Club since 2015, doing a lot of volunteer works. Every day is a volunteer, and I'm a servant for God. It's not. I'm a child of God. I'm a servant of the Lord. So I serve the community with all my heart, and I'm very transparent. And I don't play games. I don't like to beat around the bush. I tell it like it is. What you see is what you get, and that's how I am. And
That's
and people who have known me for years, they know that I'm the same as I am then, I am now. And I don't just fake the funk. That's what, I don't know if that's the right word to use it, but how people just tell you something and that's not true. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know, but I will try to
that's
find
right.
out. I'm a worker. I'm a go-getter, and I have a nursing degree in the background. So, I have a health backgrounds. So I'm always helping people, taking care of people who cannot, I go and when they're sick, I take care of them, volunteering my time. So that's what I do every day.
And see, that's what we need, right? We need, in my opinion, we need to start electing individuals who are plucked from the community and not
That's right.
someone that's just given that position because they're associated with certain classes or certain backgrounds or certain generations or what have you. We really need
That's
to have
right.
people who have receipts in the community that's doing the work. So I love that
Exactly.
about you. I love that about
Thank
you.
you.
Everybody go check out yumihampton.com. Yumihampton.com. And where do they need to go vote? Yours is City Hall. Where's City Hall at for you?
It's on Main Street, on by the Lawrenceville Highway, and on Main Street by the library. It's the same building as the library. So yes,
All right, good. And
uh,
it's nine to
yeah.
five. Are your hours nine to
Yes.
five?
So right now it's 9 to 5, and then on the general election day is 7 to 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you have a Sunday voting in there or just two
Yes,
Saturdays?
we do. We have I think it's 21st and 28th. I think 2 Saturdays.
Just two
20
Saturdays. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
21st and 28th.
And the
Mm-hmm.
28th. Yep. All right, perfect. So everybody, make sure you go out, check out Yumi. She's here to represent the people, all people. All
That's
right.
right. That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. All
I'm
people.
excited. That's
All
right.
right. Thank you,
Yes.
Yumi.
Thank you
Now we're
so
gonna
much for
go.
having me. I appreciate you
Thank
guys.
you.
And
Thank
Kat,
you.
don't forget to vote for Kat. Snellville.
You know that's right.
That's
All
All
right.
right,
right.
All
Queen.
right. Thank
All
you.
right.
And I
So,
know I'm at somebody's house, so I gotta leave. So I'm gonna,
All right. Thank
yeah.
you.
all right.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. And Solange, are you able to hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for
Okay.
joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, Solange, you are running for Snellville City. You are
You are the
Rerun.
incumbent.
You are the
Re-election.
re-election in
Yes.
Snellville. And what
Yes.
post is that? Post 3, 2.
That's post 2.
Okay. So
Yes.
Solange, tell us about what's been going on at Snellville for the last few years since you've been on city council.
What has been going on? A lot. A lot has been going on. But let me just say this first, okay? That my commitment actually to social justice and equity representation that fueled my decision to actually run for city council. Okay, I saw that there was nothing going on for the diverse population. Okay, and I said, okay, we got to make a difference. We got work to do. Okay, so my campaign focused at that time inclusively on economic development, environmental sustainability, and of course, accessible healthcare for our aging community. The reason why I'm saying that, because I used to do a lot of missionary work in my younger days, helping the seniors and stuff like that, like the aging population. And so that is really dear to my heart. But upon when I was elected, I wasted no time in turning my promises into actions. Even though some of them got turned down, but I still continue to push for a lot of things. I had advocated for better programs, funding for our local small businesses. I was advocating for us to have a youth center within our city of Snellville, which is much needed because I am a high school teacher. Working with, at a high school level. And I see that our students needed a youth center at that time. And this, when I say at that time, I mean during the COVID time, there was nothing to be had. The kids were home. At least they'll have an outlet. They can get little tutoring. They can get adults to help them as far as education is concerned. And they needed that space also to be able to socialize, right? Which is a big thing for teenagers, to be able to socialize instead of just sitting at home. So I was advocating for it. At that time, I guess I was told that Snellville has Snellville, that's not needed in Snellville, that quote unquote, that's what I was told at the time. But yet I kept on pushing for it. And then I had to lay it aside because of just the sheer pressure, of them not wanting it, knowing that I still have it on my list to still continue talking about that again. So opening up conversations about that. And also,
you had pushback from the council, or did you have pushback from the community?
I had pushback from the council.
Okay.
From the council. And also I support the healthy growth in the city, of course. It's all the building that they're doing. And like I said, I'm working very hard to assess for accessible activities, for our constituents here. Also, there is a big thing that I'm continuing to be in support of small businesses in Snellville, because as I always stated actually, that a lot of the businesses, I watch them fail in our city. Because they go for help and help is not given to them, okay? As a matter of fact, I was blatantly told that I am only one vote. So, but nonetheless, I kept on pushing for businesses. I kept on pushing for certain entities that I wanted to see within the city. We only had one soul food restaurant in Snellville. I don't know if you're aware of that. It was Be Soulful. And but because there was only one, yes ma'am, at the time, yes ma'am, we only had one, and that is what hurts me, right? This business, and they knew when, and I'm just going to be blunt. The council, let me say that, right? Because they make the decisions here and there. They knew at the time that the plaza that she was in was not really a thriving plaza, and they still allowed things instead of saying, hey, look, and of course you can't tell people where they can put their business if they chose where they want to put it, right? We know that. But at least you can say, hey, look, you're in a location, you're the only soul food place, maybe want to look around, and if you still decide you want this, then go for it, okay? From what I understand, it was my understanding that a lot was promised to them and nothing was delivered, as they always do. Also, like I said, a lot of businesses, not just Soulful, but a lot of businesses had closed their doors because of COVID. And I had asked for $500. I came to the table a few months ago. Granted, I understand that this is COVID, but to me, it's never too late to ask for funding. Okay, I came to the table asking for $500 for the first 1,000 licensed small businesses within our city, within Snellville. Right.
So say
I
that
even
again.
gave the
Say that
cat.
again,
I'm sorry.
Solange.
No, I said that a few months ago. I asked for $500 for the first 1,000 licensed small businesses in Snellville.
But
Okay.
And
tell the listeners where that money was coming from, please.
okay, that money actually was supposed to be funded through the ARPA funds.
Mm.
That is supposed to fund a lot of things within the city. Okay, yes, your infrastructure, yes, it deals with your roadways and all that. But it was also slated to put a portion away for our businesses, for our
How much
small
was
businesses.
how much was it?
How much was the what?
How much was the money from the ARPA funds in
It was
total?
$7 million. So it was a lot of money. A lot of money.
So
Okay.
does
And
Snellville
so
still
they
have
said, say it again.
does Snellville still have a lot of that money
No,
left?
no, no. So yeah, so let me tell you what they did now. They were telling me that they don't have any funds left because from the 7 million, because they allocated the funds to other things that they were doing, right? Like a community center. Oh no, we allocated it to put sideways. We allocated the money on other things. So we have no more money left. But yet, you have the principal of a elementary school coming forward to the council because she had issues with her playground equipment for the kids being old and outdated and stuff like that. She came in front of the dais asking if she can get financial help. Okay. Now they haven't responded to her, but then maybe a couple of days after, what do we see? An email coming across the board from a council member asking our city manager, hey, do we have funds, ARPA funds left? Because I think they wanted to, of course, help this woman, right? The
Mm.
answer came back, yes, we have about 6 million and change left.
Oh, wow. So they
Okay, so
lied.
you do have the money. You refuse
Okay.
not to help your small businesses within the city.
One of our
When I
viewers,
asked
Solange,
again,
So
one of our viewers wants to know, can you request an audit of those funds?
and maybe yes, and I will do that. I will
Okay.
definitely do that. Thank you for that.
well, and
Great
and
question, Antonio.
great question. Great question. The next thing that you also can do are every single citizen has the right to do an open request form.
Mm-hmm.
Open records request form. Excuse me. Thank you, sis. Open records request form. That is something that every citizen has the
Yes,
right to. You don't even have to live in Snellville or any municipality because
correct.
those
Yes,
records are public knowledge. So
yes.
you can go, and I know for our city, you can go to Snellville's website and they have a
Hmm.
section where you can electronically now complete an open
Yes,
records request.
yes.
So if anyone would like to see transparency, request it,
Hmm.
and they have to respond accordingly.
Yes.
So Cynthia Gibson is asking, how much money does the lottery donate to the school system? Municipal, the
Yes.
only municipality that has a school system in Gwinnett County is
Yes.
the city of Beaufort. So
Mm-hmm.
other than that, the
Hmm.
schools within the cities are all run by Gwinnett County. So that is a Gwinnett County school question
Right.
or a
Yes.
state level question. But I can tell you this, that what happened with that funding ratio initially when people voted on the lottery 20, 30
Mm-hmm.
years ago,
Mm-hmm.
that money was supposed to, say for instance, if they put in $1, that now you were supposed
A
to have
percent
two
of dollars,
dollars now
right?
you would have
As a match.
$2 as a
Mm-hmm.
match. So what ended up happening is, once the lottery put in that dollar, the state funds took that other dollar back. So it wasn't like extra money, it replaced funds. That may
Hmm.
have changed, but that's how the funding formula was. But we
Hmm.
digress.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a good question though.
that was an excellent,
Right, that's
that was
right.
an
Yes.
excellent question.
All questions are great questions, especially
They-
ones around
they
money.
really are.
Yes, and I'm taking, yeah, and I'm sorry to jump on, but I'm taking note of all the questions that you're asking. I'm taking note of them. You know,
Yes.
um,
Thank you.
also,
Absolutely. Go
yes,
ahead,
and
Solange, 'cause
also
we
I
want to
just
make
want to.
sure that your voters get to hear from you directly.
Yes, ma'am. And also, what I did, I don't know if I'm going over time with speaking now,
Go
but
ahead. It's
also,
our show. We control the
Look,
okay,
time.
hello. You see the name? It say who now?
Karen.
okay, I just don't want to, yes, I just don't want to overstep. But, and also, the city, not the city, I'm sorry, the county had allocated money for the small businesses. Okay, so they had allocated between $3,000 and $15,000 to help the small businesses. So what?
Per?
Yes. Who?
Is that per business?
No, no, no. Yes, that's per if you qualify. Yes, between
Okay.
3,000 and 15,000 per business. Yes, if they qualify.
So your
So
500 should have been available if they were allocated 3 to
Well, the
5,000.
question
no, this
is,
is the
take it out
county.
the same bucket.
Okay.
This is not.
Right.
This is not the city. This is the the Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
Okay.
Gwinnett County. So what
Okay.
I did, I took the liberty of walking to most of the businesses that I could get, small businesses, because I didn't go to the big ones, right? So to the
Mhm.
small businesses, and I gave them flyers. I let them know. I said, look, this is what's going on. Go ahead and apply. I even was working with
Okay.
a company that can help them to fill out the application and, helping them with what they needed to put it in place for them. As I
Okay.
was walking, the
Right.
funny thing is that as I'm walking, and Catherine, you would love this. As I was walking, talking to the small businesses, I'm touching on some of them who said, "Oh, well, Councilwoman, we already got this information." And I'm like, "Oh, you did? How did you get it?" I said, and so they said, "Oh, your council member so and so already told us about it." So they went and they sent an email out to their little friends that they have.
Um,
And so some of the businesses had no clue what was going on. So when I said, oh, okay, so who's this person? A couple of names were dropped to me. And I was
okay.
like, okay, so they work on the back end. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be open. I'm going to walk to all the businesses and just letting them know. And by the way, if somebody still would like to apply, because I know you said there are listeners on,
Mhm.
the deadline to apply for the Gwinnett County grant for small businesses is October 31st.
Oh, so that's
Okay.
soon. October
Mhm.
31st.
Yes,
And
because it's
how would
been
they be
open.
able to,
Hmm?
how would they be able to apply?
They can go online. It's all online.
Where?
It's all, yeah. If you go to the Gwinnett County website, it's
Okay.
there. It's the small business grants, and you can click on it. They made it easily accessible for you to see it.
Okay.
You know.
So that's GwinnettCounty.com.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so also cultural inclusion is something really big, really, really big, within my city. Okay. And we are not included. How about that? Let me say that. Now, we are diverse. We are heavily diverse. We are more diverse now than we were 4 years ago when I got elected. Okay. I know I was asking for a lot of different things at the time, such as, hey, change the music on the lawn, make it more diverse for all people that live there. The Spirit magazine it did not represent us in any shape, way, or form. So a lot of things were out of place. And I was asking for change in certain
Okay.
areas because I know we need to reflect all of our cultural differences
Okay.
here in Snellville. You
So is
know.
it safe to say, Solange, that you need help on the
Oh,
board for
oh,
others who
Lord
think
Jesus,
like
yes.
you?
Yes,
Um, so,
definitely.
so
Because
voters, if
remember,
you are listening in Snellville,
mhm,
um, you need to get out and vote. Early
mhm,
voting is going on now.
mhm,
You need to help Solange be able to get things passed that are important to
yes,
the community.
yeah. Because you
'Cause-
see, even though I mentioned it, like I said, the mayor, I'm going to be blunt, told me I'm only one vote. One
Okay.
vote. And that's okay. I must be a powerful vote because, yeah, they're all after me right now, right? But I need Catherine Hardrick also to be elected so we can work together, hands down. I know she stands for transparency. She stands for a lot of things. I can go on and on about Kat, and I make sure when I knock at the doors that I always mention Catherine's name. Always.
Thank
Always
you.
mention it and letting them know, hey, and I let them know, hey, the mayor said on one vote, but hey, two is better than one. So we need to get Catherine on board, you know,
Yes.
and they know it's coming. They know it's coming. We're gonna stay positive, we're gonna stay prayerful, we're gonna stay prayer up, and we leave it up to God what he decides. But
Absolutely.
two is better than one up there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Antonio Hicks agrees with you that that Snellville needs to vote in Catherine Hardrick to
Oh yes.
assist you.
Yes.
And with that, we're going to give out your information.
Okay.
Voters can contact you at electsolangedestang.com, and that's electsolangedestang.com. Early
Yes.
voting is going on now. If you need to reach Solange to find out more information about her platform, what she stands for, other than what you've already heard tonight, please reach her at her website.
Okay.
Solange, is there an email address that someone could reach out to you?
Yes, it is actually. I use my personal email for everything, so they can
Okay.
reach me at my first initial S followed by my last name. So S the Stang at
Mhm.
bellsouth.net. Don't
Okay.
laugh. I know it's the old fashioned
Now,
email,
get the
I
job done.
know it
but
gets the
it
job
works. It
done.
works. It works.
It gets the
And
job
yes,
done.
and also voting takes place, of course, at Snellville City Hall and our local city hall, and it's at 2342 Oak Road. That is in Snellville, Georgia 30078.
Was
Yes.
that bellsouth.net?
Bellsouth.net. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
And the polls are open 9 a.m. to 5
So,
p.m. We have
yes.
2 Saturdays. So guess what? Before y'all run to do your errands on Saturday morning, go ahead
Mhm.
and cast your vote and then run to the store.
Yeah.
And cast your vote 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go ahead, sis.
And Antonio Hicks also wants to know, Antonio, you are on it.
I know, right?
Does she have social media? And she's putting that information out on the social media so we can reshare.
Okay, because you know what? I mean, the funny thing is, it's so funny. Yes, yesterday I was waving signs, right?
Mhm.
And I made because I have a TikTok. I don't really do TikTok like that, which I know I need to learn to utilize what I have. Right? I'm just an old-fashioned
And
person.
so,
So
what is your TikTok and do you have
Handle.
TikTok and
yes,
IG?
it's Angel of the Sun and then a 7. Angel of the
Angel
Sun
of the
7.
Sun.
Yeah. But I only have one video up there that I made yesterday or the day before promoting me and Kat. That's it.
You gotta start somewhere, girl.
Yeah, and you need to put, like, when you're out there waving signs, get somebody to
Yeah.
video you and just talk
Absolutely.
about the early voting. So
Yes.
yeah, thank you for joining us, Solange. I know you're
Thank you
not
for
feeling
having me.
well, so I appreciate you joining us.
And if you can stick around, just in case somebody pop in and ask some more questions after I start talking about Snellville. So if you can, if you feel up
I
to
will.
it, but
No, I will. It's just that I
all
told
right,
you my situation just now, but
yeah,
I'm willing. As long as I'm sitting and talking, I'll be okay. If
okay,
Okay,
they have
perfect.
perfect.
All right,
questions.
stick around, sis.
And
Yes,
so
Perfect.
ma'am.
next we're going to have Erica Pope, who's running for Dacula City Council.
Hey,
Thank
girl.
you, Erica. And I have to also say, if anybody's listening, Erica is a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. She is a finer woman herself. So, Erica, this is your first time running for office. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. The first time, child. Woo.
Why you scratching your head, girl? It's fun, and you know what you're doing.
Woo, child. I am
So,
exhausted.
what is your why for running?
My why. So to be quite honest, my why is like multi-layered. At the bottom, it's really very simple. Like you cannot make change to policy until you start at the local level. So like
That's
to
true.
me, that's something that people need to know because like earlier you guys said, like people think the presidential election is the be all. And it's like that is way over there when
Hmm.
you're trying to start like really serious conversations. So like that's the foundation. And then when you start going up in my career trajectory, all of my background is really community engagement. So
Okay.
as a social worker, I understand how to talk to people. I understand how to hear and listen, meet people where they are. So I looked at the city council position and said, this is the ultimate place I can go. I can really get into my city, talk to people because they've never been talked to before. So in this campaign, I've been talking to people and they're like, what? Like y'all talk to people? And I'm like, that is the main goal. Like I want to be accessible to my constituents, right? So that is ultimately like the middle layer of why. And then at the top, I know that this is kind of where I'm supposed to be. I'm still trying to figure out in exactly what form, but I mean everything just kind of fell into place, in this candidacy. I was like not thinking anything about this. So the Democratic Party just kept calling and texting and emailing, and I said, you know what, I can do that. And so ultimately, that's kind of my why as well, because I know that this is kind of where, no, I don't know. It's not kind of, I am supposed to be in this moment right now.
That's right.
And,
That's
and
right.
everything's just falling into place. I really cannot thank all the people that I've touched along this way, elected officials, current candidates. I talked to one individual and they said, here's a list of people you need to contact. If you want to run, you need to talk to these people. And Kat's
Mm-hmm.
name showed up. Yeah, Solange name showed up. And so I ended up just talking and just getting a lot of insight on what I'm actually getting into, because that's
Okay.
important as well, because I think people have this, notion that it's going to be like this. But I really want to be a student to this. I really want to learn, how to be an effective councilwoman. I want to figure out how to make my mark because it's going to be so important for me to do that in Dacula. I'll be the first Black woman to be a
Mm.
councilwoman in Dacula, which I
Oh
think is
How
wow.
so.
old is Dacula?
Oh my word, it's like 156 years old. Like it's a
Oh
minute.
wow.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah,
And Dacula is diverse.
it is very much so diverse. It wasn't initially like this was Mayberry. I always say this Mayberry, it was really
Yes,
like basic. Nobody really looked like us at all. And so when I decided to
Mhm.
move out here, me and my husband, I worked at Gwinnett DFAC. So I kind of had a knowledge of what's, in this area. And I'm like, y'all, it is really quiet here. I can do this. And then it became diverse like in the third year. And I'm like, oh, I really can do
Mm.
this. Because now I see people in my Kroger that we can nod at each other and be like, hey, friend. And that is priceless when you live in a city like this. And when I
yep.
tell you, it happened so fast. And I feel like now the diversity is starting to settle in and people are realizing, wait a minute, there's so much that needs to happen here. Like, yeah,
Okay.
we're here, but so much needs to happen right now. And I know that in this candidacy, in this campaign, I'm just hearing so many things from so many people, things that I didn't think about.
Mhm.
And I was just checking my email. So I think the other night I got an email from Brenda Lopez over the Democratic Party, and it said,
It's
"Hey,
funny that you would ask that you would mention her name because Antonia wants to know, is the Democratic Party of Gwinnett assisting you?
yes," but I had to make them do that. I had to hold them accountable.
Okay.
Mm.
I had to say, "Listen, you called me. You reached out to me. You saw something in me, but I don't know how to do this, and I need to have as much support as I possibly can." And I heard from other previous candidates who were like, "Well, they didn't do that for me." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I stalked the entire leadership at the Gwinnett Democrats. Kurt Thompson
Okay.
is the vice president. And I mean, he was sick of me. By the time I actually got on the ballot, actually, he was so like, he was like, how did you do all of this? Because I taught myself, I took all the trainings. So I had all my stuff going. So when I talked to him, he was like talking to me on a basic level, like, did you do this? I'm like, oh, I've been did that. Oh, I've been had my EIN. Like, so when he saw that, I feel like he felt, okay, this girl is on
That
to
you were
something.
serious.
She's
Mhm.
serious about this. and they know that this is what is necessary in my city. So they are supporting me, and I continue to, of course, hold them accountable, because that's what you have to do. I don't want to be just a number in this candidacy in this municipalities, because once I get in my seat, you're going to need me. So let's start that relationship building now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what are the things that you want to see different
This is why
in
I can't fool
Dacula?
with her. That was my question. She make me sick. Go on, Kelly.
It is so much that I need to see different. I really need to one see representation in my leadership. That is necessary, because again, our diversity, it just happens so quickly. And I know that people feel supported when they feel seen and heard. So that's something that I definitely need to see happen. I really, really, really need us to have a community identity. We don't
Mm,
really have one. We're kind of like stuck in Mayberry, but we're not. So we don't have an identity. And the only way I can get that is by getting into the community. In my seat,
okay.
I want to create an identity. I want it to be authentic. And the only way I can really do that is to get in the community. So community engagement is so necessary, and we have none. Like, people don't even
So,
know what our city council members look like. We only have one festival. It's the Memorial Day Festival. Excuse me, not
Yes,
festival,
yes.
parade. And that's
got it.
it.
Yeah.
And we
So,
are
what do
new.
when you're going around Dacula, Antonia wants to know, what are the people in Dacula telling you that they're looking for? What do they want to see?
So it's so interesting that you said that. I got an email from Brenda, and it was a constituent emailing saying, "Hey, I would like to speak to Erica. I have questions." And I was like, "Okay, friend, this is what this is looking like. This is what this is going to look like. Yay." So I reached out to him, and he stated that he was a senior, and he said that, the taxes are going up, and I believe that the taxes need to be addressed. And he said he talked to the mayor. The mayor agreed with him, but the mayor said the council doesn't. And I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, how is it possible for you to be like, oh, we don't do that? That's crazy to me. So that individual, he emailed me, I emailed him back, and I first of all, I acknowledged him and validated his feelings and his experience, because he wasn't the
Mm-hmm.
first person to say that he went to the council and they ignored him. So
Mm.
after I did that, he emailed me, but he just emailed me just now and said that I have 4 votes in his home. One, because I
Wow.
responded to him. Yeah, he said, you responded to me. He said, this is a breath of fresh air. He also said, like, I am tired of being invisible. So
Okay.
the Julians want to be heard, and they want to be seen. And that's a basic necessity. That's a basic right. You should be validated, especially when you're paying money and taxes and, investing your time, raising your family. You should have a voice and hear and see yourself and be, empowered in your community. So
Okay.
that's what
And
I
the
need.
reality of it is, in my opinion, regardless of your class, your ability to pay taxes or not or whatnot, you are a citizen, and
Yes,
you need to be treated with respect and as such,
absolutely.
period. And no
Absolutely.
one who has the privilege or the honor of being elected should neglect any citizen.
Listen,
Every
and
question is valuable.
Yes. And
yes,
speaking of questions, Antonio is on
On
it
fire.
tonight.
Come on, Brother Hicks. Come on, Brother Hicks.
So his question is,
Antonio.
would you work towards helping seniors have their taxes lowered and grandfathered in due to fixed incomes, so as not to force them out of their homes due to higher property taxes? That would have also been an excellent question for Solange too. And if she's able to get back on, I'm going to ask
Yeah.
her that question.
All of them, actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That this is the baby boomers, the golden generation, and I don't want them to be invisible either. So
Hmm.
I've previously worked at a nursing home. I have, volunteered at Meals on Wheels and things like that. And these individuals are on a really small fixed income, and they've been here in Decula for years. So it's not fair for us to not even entertain a conversation about their taxes. 80% of homeowners in Decula. So everybody moved here and they plan on staying here. And so we need to also address their needs. We also need to basically say, hey, we support you. you are a person here. Because the other thing is the majority of the age range here is between, I think it's 32 and like 50, if that. I
Okay.
think that's kind of, so it's a lot of young
That's
people
child
here.
age. That's
Mhm.
child rearing ages.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's
So
me. And that's my friends and that's my neighbors. And we're all
okay.
have little kids in elementary school. And so, of course, I am going to advocate for them, right? Because
Mhm.
that's me and I see myself. However, that is not the majority of our city. And I don't want to alienate anybody. And I do feel like people just forget the elderly. They just forget them. And it's not fair because they put in their time, they put in their money, and they need their support as well.
Well, they actually, basically founded these communities. I know the folks in my neighborhood in Snellville that I've ran across and talked just about that issue, taxes. There is one particular senior that comes to mind. They bought their house back in the 60s, in
Mhm.
the 70s. And yeah, right. One lady, my cluster is South Gwinnett, Karen and Shiloh, and his wife went through all of the schools and graduated. And here it is, he was saying that the taxes for him is so high that he's paying more than what he did when he was paying his mortgage. And
Oh my
so
word.
he doesn't have the income because he's on a fixed
Yeah.
income now, you know.
Well, you think about it. You bought a house. I'll just take for instance, like um, my first little house in
Hmm.
Stone Mountain.
It wasn't a little girl.
It was a little townhouse, but I bought that house in '97 as a
Hmm.
single woman for $65,000. I
Hmm.
sold it in 2002 for 90, but right now that little townhouse is selling for over $200,000. So if I'm the taxes between 60,000 and 200,000 is
Yep.
huge.
Yep.
And if there are, and there were older people who were living in that community as well.
Hmm.
So if someone's living there and they're living on a fixed income and they're now paid their mortgage off and that house is now worth 200 or $300,000, and someone's in Dacula may have bought a house for 150 back in the 80s, now
Yes.
worth six, seven, $8,000, hundred
Hundred
thousand
thousand.
dollars
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is there anything that you would propose to be able to control that? And Antonio brings up the fact that Kasim Reed did that in Atlanta when they expanded the belt line for people who were longtime residents so they wouldn't be forced out. Is that something that you would be willing to entertain as a member of City Council in Dacula?
Absolutely. One, because it is an issue and it is something that hasn't been heard before. So, and I always go back to what do the citizens want? I don't want to just assume that all they only want a tax break, right?
Yeah.
I want to ensure that they have everything that they need to have to be thriving in this community. I don't want them to just exist. I want them to thrive as well. So absolutely, I am my game plan is to bring everybody to the table and hear exactly what they need. And that's something that I feel a lot of politicians don't do. They come in with their own agenda and
Got
it
you.
doesn't even support the people who are supposed to be making these decisions. They are finding other ways to support things that usually don't even have anything to do with their constituents.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
And I would like to add, thank you. And I would like to add, not only have the citizens at the table, but we need to work like Hicks brought up Atlanta. They
Mhm.
created a program that worked. We don't have to try to create the wheel. Nothing's new under the sun. We need to work with other government agencies who have found a solution. For example, housing. There are other
Mhm.
people that are addressing the housing issue, just like he
Right.
brought up the Beltline. So we can look and see if there's something in those models that we
Mhm.
can implement in our own cities and work
Mhm.
intergovernmentally. We need to work with one another as we address these issues because we are experiencing the same issues, just in different zip codes.
Hmm.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So, and we're neighbor. What happens in Snellville gonna spill over to Dacula, gonna spill over to Norcross, gonna spill over to
Yes.
Lilburn. We're in Gwinnett County, the second largest county in the state, and I would like for our county and all of our cities to be the lead, the cities and the municipalities that lead the way. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We should be the example. We the second largest in the count in the state. We can do
Yes.
that.
Yes. And the
We
most
really could
diverse.
do it. We really could do it because we are diverse. And if we
Mhm.
stop trying to suppress, oppress, separate, and tap into all of our abilities, because we
Yes.
are stronger when we're all together. We are brilliant. We have the money, we have the resource, we have the talent, but we need to allow all of us to pour into that process and not just a few. It's time
Yes.
out for all of that.
It is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you said something really, really that's just stood out to me. You said we have the money. We
Yeah.
are some very rich cities. We have so much money that we're just sitting on. And I don't know where this notion came from where we're just not going to touch it. And it's like, that's nice and that's cool and cute and all, but you need some stuff.
Are
So
you
I
are
do
you able
disagree.
to are you able to talk about your budget, or you how do you feel about that? I don't want you to say nothing you don't want to say, but can you tap into that just a little bit, Go ahead.
That's actually my platform, which is budget transparency.
Mhm.
Because when I first started, researching everything, I was like, okay, so my taxes keep going up, and we need so much in this city. We need a community center like bad. Our youth are spilling out of the library because that's the only
Mhm.
place that they
That
have
they
to
can
go.
go to.
And if we're
Mm.
trying to keep them out of trouble, which also helps our law enforcement because then that cracks down on crime and robberies and all that little dumb
Mhm.
stuff that they're doing because they're bored. Like
Right.
that in itself, like we have money, why not use it for a cause? If my family and all of the people around me are in childbearing age, that means that my kids are going to benefit from that. So why not utilize those funds right now? And I actually had a lady, I guess she's my opponent's best friend, and she kind of like chased me around the school one day because
Oh Lord.
I was a sub. And she was like, I like being in the black. And I was like, I bet you do. Everybody loves being in the black. I'm not saying I want to go and spend all of our money and our reserves. I was like,
Mhm.
but think about it. When you go to the grocery store, you're going to buy your food because your family needs to eat. You need sustainability and nourishment. So you just not gonna buy no food because you want to be in the black in your checking account. That don't even make sense. You need to utilize your money for what is necessary, and but most importantly, we need to use the money that the citizens want to use the money for. We don't want to know. Ooh, that's a long topic.
I say Antonio got an essay. Antonio ain't playing, girl. That's our brother, honey. I love it.
So
Okay.
for those who may be listening and not viewing this, Antonia says, I would recommend that as properties are being allocated for business space that would cause massive growth, that an assessment be done to determine demographics of the area and see how many seniors or lower income families there are. Then with that data, allocate the higher taxes being paid out from new businesses be used to offset what those on fixed incomes can't pay. Freeze things where there are equal anything over that amount be covered by the city, which is covered by newer residents.
Okay. I'm gonna have to free. We need to copy and paste that one. Look,
For
keep that one. That's
real.
a good suggestion.
So yes,
Yes.
Antonio, you are
Look,
on fire.
look, Antonio know a little something about those
He
politics, honey.
does.
Look,
He
Antonio
does.
love our brother Antonio.
Antonio
Antonio
Hicks was
needs
a
to run for
candidate
city
for
council too.
Congress. Yes.
He girl, he at the congressional level, girl. He passed
Oh,
municipal money.
and there
That
you
brother
have
is
it.
on congressional, yes.
And there you
So
have it.
look at me.
These will be in the comment section.
Okay, look,
Yeah.
I'm doing all this
They-
live. Look.
They'll be in the comment section after this is over.
Okay, good. So good. All
So
right.
that's an excellent point,
Mhm.
Antonio.
Mhm.
And those are some things that Solange, Erica, and Catherine, when they're all on the city council
Mhm.
in their respective cities, could bring to their cities. Solange, did you want to address any of the points that Antonio had brought up? He was asking about seniors and having their taxes lowered.
Mhm.
Um, and so they
Yes.
did for due to fixed income.
Yes. One of the things that I proposed and also asked for when we were in the work session one time was because we we shifted the way we're doing recycling and all that, right? So they are well, not requiring. It's up, they're giving the citizens a choice if they either want to recycle or not within the city. If you don't want to recycle, to have an extra can for recycling, you can bring it to the recycling center and so on. But there are people who reached out to me and they wanted to know, is there something for us as seniors? First of all, we
Mhm.
can't drag that big can to the, to the side of the road. And sometimes we don't have the transportation to bring what we recycle to the recycling center. They wanted to know if they can be either exempted from that extra pay for a
Okay.
can. And I proposed it to them and I was told no.
Okay.
Everybody's on the same board. They all work, they all pay, and
So
so it
even
was.
something as basic as trying to exempt
Yes,
seniors from paying the same cost
yes,
for
ma'am.
trash, the
Hmm.
city wasn't willing to do. So they
They,
probably wouldn't be willing with the current votes. That is, they probably
mhm,
wouldn't be willing to exempt seniors from
right.
paying a lower property tax.
That's
Um,
correct.
okay.
Yes,
Okay. All
you
right.
know.
So y'all
So
have
it's
work
like,
to do.
yeah, it's not that I'm not proposing for anything. Like I'm asking.
Got it.
And then like sometimes I even tell them, oh yeah, I'm one vote, because it's hard. It's hard to, if you're by yourself. That's what I'm saying. I need Cat. Okay, vote for Cat. I need Cat to help me, to
Vote for
back me,
us. We
because
gotta
it
do
is. Say it again. I'm sorry, Cat.
vote for us. We gotta
Vote for
vote for
us,
us.
yes, yes. But, like I always say, two is better than one. It's always better. It's always better.
Yeah.
Because they looked at me and the first thing they said was, oh no, we can't do that. What about everybody else? I'm going like, yeah, exactly. What about everybody else? You have elderly people within the city. Let's take care of those people, you know?
Yes.
And but like I said, I was told no, we across the board, everybody pays. I
Got
was
it.
like,
Okay. That's
yeah,
unfortunate. So hopefully
yes.
once you have help on city council,
Yes,
some things will change.
I'm
That's
looking
what
forward to
that's
that.
what we're putting into the
Definitely.
atmosphere.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. Yes.
But so we did not, Erica, we did not put out your information. You can reach Erica on IG at hope with pope underscore, and you can also reach her at www.hopewithpope.com.
It's .org.
.org. My bad. That was me who did
All
that.
right, let's go and change that. We're gonna change that .org. I love your name.
.org.
Hope with Pope. I love that. And can you speak a little bit about just a few, just drop uh your colleague that's running with you at Dacula?
Yeah,
Oh Lord, he gonna kill me. I forgot. I'm
say.
Shay. I want to say Sean. I know that wasn't it. That's why I couldn't say it. But yeah,
Sean is the
drop
opponent.
Shay's information too, please.
Yeah, Sean is the opponent, so please don't say Sean.
I know, girl. That's why you saw me struggling. I just kept my mouth closed.
Yes, so my, running partner, aka running partner, his name is Shay Holly. He is really big on youth development. He is an educator in Gwinnett County. So he has a more focus on, the youth and providing them with the community center and, trying to get a voice from the high school. I didn't know that the city council told the high school they couldn't do no parade because they didn't have no money to pay for security. And I was like,
Oh,
how sway? Stop making this stuff up. So anyway, he is very focused on business development as well.
mhm,
Some, different types of business development, smart
mhm.
business development. So yeah, Shay Holly is the other candidate who is
For the-
looking to unseat the incumbent. So
And
yeah,
that is Shaylin
yeah,
Holly. And his first name is spelled Shaylin, and Holly is spelled Holey.
yes,
So Shaylin Holly, you can look him up. He's running
mhm,
for a city of Dacula. He's one of the other candidates. He's not running against.
no,
He is not running against Erica here. And
yeah.
so this is a question we were, Solange, when we were talking about the seniors there in Snellville. One of the listeners, one of the viewers wants to know: could ARPA money not be used to help seniors with increased expenditures? Are you familiar with how those the funds have been earmarked for ARPA?
Yeah, yes, but I don't think that that is like necessarily to help seniors,
Hmm.
with with their increased expenditures. I don't think, because I looked through the list and I didn't see anything listed for that. I
Yeah.
wish. I mean, I can go over it again
Okay.
and double check it for sure, and
Okay.
then let you guys know.
All right. So that could be something that you would look into.
Yeah, we definitely
Yes,
have to look into that because
yes, we have to look at that.
ARPA funds were dollars allocated during the COVID crises,
Mm-hmm.
and so Snellville received that money 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they received that money, at some point, those dollars were put over to the side, and a survey was created asking the citizens of Snellville to determine where this money should be spent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in my personal opinion, the money was already allocated when the government gave it to you. It was supposed to go to help ease the pain of COVID from businesses, families,
Yes,
marginalized communities, and so forth.
yes.
And those dollars were again set to the side and reallocated for something else.
Mm-hmm.
So while um, the government's original intent for those dollars were for relief for COVID, if the city is trying to reallocate it,
Mm.
why not reallocate it to some seniors if that's,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm,
To a use
Mm-hmm.
that the city actually needs.
thank
Mm-hmm.
you, instead of more brick and mortar and all that stuff. So we can,
That's right. Yep.
but you know what I'm saying? So to me, if you're not going to use it for what it's for, let's see how we still can benefit the
Mm-hmm.
citizens of Sellville.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely something that once we are elected and I'm elected and Solange is reelected,
We're gonna
maybe that's
pour over
definitely a
those.
conversation.
Oh yeah.
Because that $7 million will still be there on November the 13th when we get sworn
Well,
in.
There you go, girl. I
and
was just
so
thinking the same thing.
we have
Yep.
mentioned it tonight, but you haven't had a chance to talk about like what your platform is and what
Okay.
you want to see. But maybe I'll have you respond to Antonio's question because he's
Wait,
on
give me
fire.
a short question. Let me see. Put my glasses on, Hicks.
Oh, okay. Actually, this is not for Antonio. This is not for you for Snellville. It's would you
Mm.
work towards a plan to allow individuals with tech businesses, Antonio, or others that don't exist in Dacula to come in with a lower tax break to push growth of businesses that could pay livable wages
That's
of
right.
residents there to cut back on carbon emissions due to longer commutes in town?
Love that question.
Ooh. Ooh. First of all, that is an amazing question, and you have been quick with those. So, yes, I am very interested in talking about that. 45% of Deculians commute more than 45 minutes to an
Oh
hour.
wow.
Yeah, and we are 85 north, so that means we got to go through all of 85 south just to even get somewhere, or get on 285 and be gridlocked for hours. So
Got
yes,
it.
I really believe that a tax break will it would be very interesting if when I bring this up, I really think so. They really, I don't see in any agenda minutes or anything about, you know, livable wages, which is
Hmm.
crazy to me because I mean, just without an inflation, the houses here are $200,000-300,000 just to start. So we definitely need to have a conversation about livable wages. The majority of us, like I said, we do commute an hour plus, so that would be a very very beneficial tax break, I believe.
Y'all have that humongous rowing project that's coming, and it's bringing a lot of businesses, revenue and so forth. I wonder if there will be any tech businesses and livable wage jobs from that, because that's a huge project undertaking that the county has been doing. And I mean, I see
Yes,
the construction over there and whatnot. But I would hopefully maybe that's a conversation that you can have to see what's going to be developed over there. Because
yes.
I mean, how much land is it? Do you know?
Oh, no, but I can find
Yeah,
it.
it's huge. It's
Don't make
huge,
her
but
laugh.
no, but yeah, no, but yeah. So, but we gonna jump because it's already looked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
we're an hour in, and
Ooh.
Kat, tell us about. I know, but it's been a great hour.
I know, right?
It really has.
I know.
These were great questions. Antonio, Trisha, like these are great questions.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Thanks everybody for tuning in,
Yes.
asking your questions and everything. Let me go ahead and jump in. So, everybody, you know, I'm your girl Kat. I am running for Snellville City Council Post 1. And I'm running because CAT is that acronym. It stands for Community, Accountability, and Transparency. And we need to enforce, reinforce, rebuild, and ensure that we protect all three. Y'all know I love the community because I've said it plenty of times. I lost my parents before I was 5, and I was raised by a village. And I will go ahead and say on Monday, the start of election, I lost my mom, who was my auntie, who raised me like her own. And I was literally on the corner of Oak Road and 124 by the racetrack. Everybody know what that said, waving signs. I was with another volunteer and supporter, and I got the call, and it was heartbreaking. You know, the volunteer prayed with me and the whole nine, and it made me realize how valuable life is, how valuable our relationships are, but how important this race really is. Because my parents believed in fighting and standing up for the cause, and while I know that she's in a better place, she lives in me, and so does her mission, right? To bring a better, because we could have been in foster care. You understand what I'm saying? And they said no, they're going to step up and bridge that gap. And so it was an entire village that raised me and my siblings. So that's the foundation of my belief in community. And that's what I would like to see in Snellville. It doesn't matter what color you are, what age you are, what income you have. It's all about just taking care of the human beings. We cry the same and we bleed the same, and that's all that should matter, right? And help one another. So that's why community is very, very important to me. The next thing is accountability. Living in Snellville for so many years, 23 years to be exact, I've seen so many things change with diversity and people having jobs and opportunities. It just is not as diverse as it should be when it comes to equitable justice and social economic justice. It's just not fairly distributed. And I would like to see more of equitable distribution with all of the resources that they have, from different contracts to build, to people getting the resources that they need in the community. And I'll lend an example for that. I've talked to thousands of people, over 4,000 just in this race. And y'all know I ran before. So constantly talking to individuals. A neighborhood shared with me that for 6 years, they've been asking the community, the leadership, for sidewalk, for speed bumps. And in that particular neighborhood, they had count them, 3 children get hit by vehicles because of speeding. 6 years they made this request to no avail. But yet there's a particular neighborhood that are going to get some median slowing to slow you down in their particular neighborhood. And to me, for me, in my opinion, a level of priority would be where you had issues. Because what are we waiting for? Fatality? We're waiting for somebody to get hurt to the point to where someone loses their life. I think, and I believe we all probably want speed bumps, because now Snellville is so big. It's, people go through your neighborhoods and whatnot. So it may be a big thing to even try to look to see if that's something we could realistically do. But if we did do that, we should prioritize with some kids getting hit. We want to stop that from happening. But we need to hold the leadership accountable as to why are you not responding to this community for 6 years after 3 children have been hurt? So we need to hold people accountable. The other thing about transparency, Councilwoman Destang mentioned about the $7 million of ARPA fund. Those dollars have been on the books for 2 years. And every time I talk to citizens, which I said thousands, no one knows about that money. Transparency, that's an issue. Why are we not publicizing grants and access to dollars that's available to business owners and working families, and yet we can publicize the Michael Jackson concert on the green? What good is a concert when I'm hungry? What good is a concert when my spouse is suffering from cancer and I'm tapping into my reserve and my business is about to go under? right? This is true with some of the citizens that I've talked to and their business have gone on. And just like Councilwoman Destang about Be Soulful, that business could still be here if they would have had access to those dollars, right? So we have to hold people accountable, and they have to be transparent. And we can't do it alone. We need each and every one of you. We need each and every one of you who live within the city limits of all of our municipalities and the city limits of Snellville. We need you to come out and vote. Early voting is underway right now. And you can go to Snellville City Hall tomorrow at 9 o'clock. The doors open up at 9. Flood City Hall. Go in and let your voice be known, because for 100 years, they've only had 4 people of color, 2 Black people, 1 Hispanic, and 1 Pacific Islander. In 100 years, we have more, like 60%, 59% of different races in Snellville. And yet the leadership does not reflect that. We have overdevelopment in one particular area. Everybody live in Snellville on 124 and 78. I don't know about you, but my commute used to be 5 minutes. Now it's 45 minutes. I understand development is coming, so I'm not naive to that.
It has to be sustainable and has to be measured.
It has to be sustainable and it has to be measured.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of space in there. There are people who want development on their end, the South Side, and they're not getting it. And then you have a gentleman who comes in and he had a map of almost 10 or 12 different gas stations in a small mile radius, and they wanted to put a whole nother gas station. And he's like, what are we doing? So you want to put one area where it's a bunch of gas stations, but you want to make another area that's pristine. And all of Snellville matters. All of Snellville matters. You can't just love one part of Snellville. You need to love it all. And we all matter. And I'm asking for your vote so you can have somebody at the table bringing your concerns in. Because I talk, I listen, and I advocate. And that's what we need. I am plucked from the community. What's the matter? I'm plucked from the community. Look, I said, what's the matter? I'm plucked from the community. I'm in these streets. Y'all know me. A lot of y'all probably already seen me. And I'm just asking for you to continue to work with us. Because you can't send me and turn me away, because I'm your employee. You're not going to lose. You're not going to leave your new employee, your new hire. Right. And that's something that I want to see come back. A lot of people feel like the elected officials feel as though they're serving you, as if you're at Burger King, and you're not. You pay taxes and you've hired them to do a job for you. They're your employees. Taxpayers are the boss. They answer to you. They're being considerate. They're doing their job. But they answer to you.
Yeah.
So you can do open records requests whenever you want to. You can call all your elected officials. You can email them and show up to the monthly meetings, the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month. Work session at 6:30. Immediately following at 7:30 is the city council meetings. Show up.
That's City of Snellville.
That's the City of Snellville. Yes. Show up. It's right at City Hall. And one of the things that I would like to do once you guys honor me with the job as your next councilwoman is look at different ways that we can stream like what we're doing. Technology has shown us coming into a building is not the only way to get information out. We have to do better as a government in getting information out. Like I said, I ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
But
so speaking of technology, I'm gonna give you this question. From Antonio. Would you work with community colleges to teach classes to help those who might be phased out due to advancements in technology?
Yes, and all the way yes, because technology is here, right? We know artificial intelligence, and you can go away from your computer for a month and come back and be like, what in the world is this, right? So I am all about working with community colleges to teach and help individuals stay connected with technology. I have a family member who's 60, 70, and they barely could use their phone, and we have to help people be empowered. I'm all about empowerment. Don't just do it for me. Show me how to do it. Don't just feed me fish. Teach me how to fish so I can feed myself. So I'm all about everything and anything that will empower an individual so that they can have control of their own quality of life.
Love it. And with that last question, I am going to thank our viewers and our listeners.
Electcat.com, electcat.com. That's how you can get in contact with me. Go to electcat.com. Everybody got their website but me. But y'all know y'all can find me on KarenTheCat.com. We on TikTok, Twitter, and all of your social media platforms. But if you wanted to reach out to me and ask any questions pertaining to the campaign, I mean, you can go to electcat, that's with a C, electcat.com. And you can also still just reach us through our platforms, any platform. Please reach out to me and ask any questions. But I'm here to advocate for you. I will listen and I will work hard to make sure your needs are met.
And you can also direct message. She's also on IG with the same Elect Cat. So you can find her on social media under Elect Cat.
Yeah.
But thank you. I just realized that we had all women tonight.
Girl
that wasn't intentional. We reached out to candidates that we are aware of that are currently running, and these beautiful women happen to be available and tell us about what we also believe in their platform. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not gonna have you on our show if we don't believe in who you are and what you stand for.
And that's all of our shows. We are very intentional with bringing people on who are doing the work in the community to find solutions, not just complain. We got enough complaining. We need solutions.
Absolutely. And with that, Erica and Solange, do you want to say anything really quickly to the viewers?
Go first, Erica.
Okay. Basically, early voting, you know, the last election was decided by 28 points.
Wow.
We had less than 400 people vote, and we have 7,000 people in my population. So right now, it's just really pushing out the vote. I am more than prepared and excited to become the first Black councilwoman. And I mean, hope with hope. That accomplishes everything.
Thank you. Solange, any parting words for you?
Yes, for me, I just want to say that, first of all, let me thank you. Thank you and Kat for allowing me to be on your podcast and allowing me to voice, to bring my platform to you. I do want to mention quickly, and like Kat was saying, we had just about 4 diverse people on council for 100 years, okay? And I'm one of them. I'm the first Black woman. But the point that I want to make is that I always talk to my students, right? And I'm letting them know, hey, look, I'm doing this for you. They know who I am. They know what I do. They know they see my signs and they get all excited and miss. And I'm telling them, it's not about science. It's just, I'm blazing the way for you guys because I work in a predominantly minority school, and I'm telling them, hey, I'm blazing the way for you guys, so you can get up and do what you need to do for your community. And I also told them I need help. I was like, so I have a friend named Kat. And so, so I talked to them. But my parting words will be, like all parting words, go vote. Go vote. Early voting is ongoing until November 3rd. There are 2 Saturdays, which tomorrow is one of them. The other one is on the 28th. From 9 to 5. Go to your municipal, go to your city halls and your respective cities, and just go ahead and vote. Vote. That's all I can say. Just go vote,
Absolutely.
And November 7th is a big day, and we can all use help, to help us wave signs, come ask us what we need, go on our webpage and see what we need, and see how you can help us. And just pass on the word, that voting is ongoing. And on that, I want to thank you guys again for having us. It was fun. I like this. I don't feel so well. I didn't feel so well today, but I was glad I was able to make it. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Solange, Erica, and you and me who had to get offline earlier. It was a pleasure to be able to inform viewers, let them know a little bit more about you. And just as a reminder, we want to remind those that are listening that if you're in the state of Georgia, that municipal elections are going on now. And if you are in Gwinnett County and you live in a municipality, the cities of Berkeley Lake, Brazelton, Beaufort, Dacula, Duluth, Grayson, Lilburn, Loganville, Norcross, Peachtree Corners, Snellville,
Whoop, whoop.
Sugar Hill, and Swanee all have elections that are going on now.
Yeah.
As always, thank you for joining us on this episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat.
Well, we are impacting the world one conversation at a time.